Hi, I'm Dr. Bertice Berry, and I need to tell you a story. Years ago, when I was in my last year of graduate work, I was finishing my dissertation. Uh, Someone tried to assault me in my own home. Um, I was so gripped in fear that I forgot who I was. And then I remembered who I was and where I was from, and I fought back, and I fought back hard. And I got him out of my apartment. But then I fell into that fear. I was ashamed of myself for not crying out, not screaming so that my neighbors could hear me. My neighbors would have come running, and I was ashamed of not screaming. I didn't want to be seen as something. I don't know what. So I was in shame. I blamed myself for opening the door. I blamed myself for looking like somebody he would want to attack. And I couldn't go out for about 3 months. And after I got through the shame and the blame, I was gripped in fear. What if he was out there? And I was just locked in fear. And it took this awareness of, not sleeping for days, that I was able to fight, that I was able to stand up, that I was who I was. And then this purpose, this thing that I was there to do, that had to be greater than my fear. And when I was finally able to get out and go to my department, um, someone heard my why. No one understood why I just suddenly dropped out of everything. And they heard my why. And just with the acceptance of that. And then a group of women who were fierce warriors who posted pictures of him all over campus and were at the ready, and if I needed anybody to walk with me anywhere, they were ready to do it. And then when some men heard about it, they were like, what do you need us to do? Do you want me to do? And when I get to the center of my fear, it was this belief, false narrative, that I was alone. I couldn't tell anybody that I was alone in my fear. And that was like probably the deepest sense of fear that I've had, where I felt that someone was going to come in and truly do bodily harm. And that fear lasted for months, where it was gripping and I couldn't move, and I couldn't do anything. I understand that. And I think when I say love is a force, what I mean seriously is that our loving each other so fiercely, it doesn't need to be demonstrative. You don't need to hug me. You don't need to be here physically to let me know. But letting one another know that somebody is listening, somebody cares, someone is watching, someone has your back, someone is thinking of you, you are a part of a community, is so very, very helpful. And it lets you sleep at night. And what we need to be doing right now more than ever before is contacting our neighbors and letting them know, neighbor, I love you. Contacting your family members and saying, I love you. Contacting the people who you haven't seen in a while and just saying, I love you. Because we're up against all kinds of enemies right now. This invisible enemy that we cannot see called coronavirus. Who has it? Where is it? So that the very people you love can be carrying this thing that could take you out. And then this enemy of people who would like to destroy our country because they lost. But they didn't lose. They won. They won because we're one nation. The fact that a black woman has to tell you this is irony in the highest. Because I keep hearing this false narrative that, well, they're hurting. They're hurting. And hurt people hurt people. People who look like me have had 400 years of hurting. And here I am every day, sharing love. We need to really look quickly. It's not about whataboutism or whose side are you on. At the end of the day, stand for love. Stand for love. Love your neighbor as yourself. Love yourself first. And make sure that you become the voice of love wherever you are. Because if you don't stand for love, you will fall for all of this nonsense. I love you. I'm not afraid to go out of my house. I'm not afraid to stand with my neighbor. I'm not even afraid of that young man who tried to assault me. But if you come up in here today, you got a whole nother thing coming. I love you. We have to stand for change, and we have to stand for love.